I feel like we got 5 draft picks that fit the makeup we're looking for on and off the field. Athletic makeup as well. Felt like we helped ourselves on defense.
We heard it a million times. We got our guy today. All right, half of them are lying. But, man, I was excited. The process and the hours going into it, all of that, because it was new for me, and there's elements of it that were new relative to how we scout. If you started really at the beginning of it all, and you said, here's free agency, here we are, the draft just ended, I'm really excited.
A swing, a ball crushed, deep left field. Looking this one back is Olivares, and it is out of here. Ryan Mountcastle.
So that was a good way to start, and just, not the way to finish. So it's kind of really leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
Because if you look at not only the main move, but you look at the other ancillary moves around it. So you look at now Randall Cobb is a part of it. You have Alan Lazard. You have, LeBron moves teams and then brings some of his guys with him. It's that similar mindset.
LeBron now turns left, shoots a two-point short. Rebound, 18, up and in. 30 for Anthony Davis. Blocker down. Brookstrand gets his own rebound, puts it back toward the goal, and never got through. Now Seattle scores! Scores! On the far side! It's hammered in off the rebound! And good afternoon. Welcome to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM, the talk of the town. Getting ready for the show. Steve Webster with you here for the midweek version. Joined by Mike Hesher in studio. Also, Mike Corson is in studio. Young Aaron Clark is out at the Great Bend Sports Complex. We'll be joining Aaron here coming up in just a little bit. He's going to be talking with some folks out there. The KCAC baseball and softball tournaments are underway right now. Games getting started. The baseball games getting one baseball game at 11 this morning. Softball been going on for about a half hour. So Aaron's going to give us some flavor from the KCAC baseball and softball tournament. Also on the show today, Carrie Minton will be in talking Great Bend Panthers softball with members of the softball team. So there you go. We always like to do our Wednesday sports headlines, but first, sounds of the past 24 hours or so. Carson DeBose, head coach of the Barton Lady Cougars. They're getting set for postseason play themselves Friday. They will be at Dodge City taking on Garden City. Barton, the number 4 seed, Garden City, the number 5. Barton went 4-0 against the Lady Busters this season. And Carson yesterday on the program talking about reminding their players that it's postseason time. Things can change. So looking forward to seeing how the Cougars do. They play Friday at 3 o'clock. That'll be against Garden City. Baseball Cougars, here in less than half an hour. The Cougars will be taking the field against Garden City at Lawson Biggs Field. I think they're in pretty good shape. They've got a 4-game lead with 4 games left to play, and they're taking on the worst team in the league today. It's really weird to say that. Garden City baseball's been very good over all the years, but just 3-26 in league play this year. They're 7-42 overall.
Yikes.
Barton comes in 22-6 in league play, 4-game lead over Cloud, and they're 43-8 overall. So if you want to see a celebration probably around 3 o'clock, head out to Lawson Biggs Field, because I think the Cougars will wrap up the regular season title. And then it's back into one of those things where you go through the grind and you're playing everybody and, looking at conference standings, and then you win it, and then you don't really get to enjoy it because then the Region 6 tournament begins and you got to prove it all over again, and that's the one that will send you on to where you want to get, which would be Grand Junction, Colorado for the JUCO World Series. So Barton baseball this afternoon at 1 o'clock. They will wrap up that series with a doubleheader at Garden City coming up on Saturday. Okay, Bronco fans, we like to provide you with content here as well. We heard from the Payton boys, not Payton brothers, Payton GM, and Payton head coach George Payton, talking about the Broncos NFL draft. They moved up 5 spots in the second round so they could pick Marvin Mims. That was the final pick of round 2 and their first selection of 2023. So 62 players were selected before they were able to get Marvin Mims. He likes the 5-member draft class that he says has value and versatility.
Russell Wilson's new deep threat will be counted upon to make an immediate impact with speedy receiver KJ Hamler and Javonte Williams still on the men. Broncos are sticking with the 3-4 defense. They also added All-American inside linebacker Drew Sanders, Iowa defensive back Riley Moss in the 3rd round, and Boise State safety J.L. Skinner in the 6th. Sean Payton saying, yeah, because have you ever heard anybody come out and say, yeah, well, we really had a horrible draft? No one ever says that. He says, everybody says, but he likes what they've got.
Well, like you said yesterday, you got the board, you got to stick to it. I just don't get the grades. They haven't practiced, they haven't played. You're going off of what they did in college. So why would somebody come out and say, oh, we got the wrong one right out? Ties his shoes wrong. We'll see. We have to wait until they play.
I'm just wondering what happened to Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy. They drafted those, 4 or 5 years ago, and they were supposed to be the saviors.
Well, they've got good coach. Peyton's going to make a difference.
Well, probably.
But he still has Russell Wilson. Is Russell Wilson going to be good, or Russell Wilson going to be average, or is Russell Wilson going to be bad? That's what, because he can't get rid of him. So can he fix Humpty Dumpty?
I'm sure there's a gentleman out at the sports complex just chomping at the bit to say something about this deal.
He can't.
Yeah, you're out of luck, Aaron.
And I do think Russell Wilson's a good quarterback, so if any of those guys turn out, Denver should have been better than what they were last year. So
I think he was a good quarterback. I'm still hesitant to say that he is a good quarterback. I mean, they led him to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
So, or at least Seattle, I guess.
But can he be that player? We'll find out.
We'll find out.
A good coach. I mean, if there's going to be somebody that's make a difference, and if Peyton can't do it, then you might as well. You're going to be in a lot of trouble then. Oh, let's see. The call on WBAL in Baltimore. WBAL. Ryan Montcastle got his 2nd home run of the game to extend the Orioles' lead to 7-3 in the top of the 5th. The Orioles beat the Royals 11-7 in Game 1 of a 3-game set at Kauffman Stadium. Ryan Yarbrough struck out the first 5 batters that he faced. That matched a Royals record for consecutive strikeouts by a pitcher. But then things started to fall apart a little bit, and Yarbrough saying, yeah, they made some pretty good adjustments.
I think the stat was they'd hit 2 home runs in the first 29 games in the first inning, and they hit 2 last night in the first. Yarbrough comes out hot. You're thinking, here comes my 8-2 start. And those big innings are just, it seems like there's one every game.
And walks.
Oh, that was the thing.
The Royals walked 8 last night, gave up 15 hits.
Raid the zone doesn't seem to be working as well as they had hoped.
Royals are now 7-23, matching the 2005 team that lost 106 games for the worst 30-game start in franchise history.
And what Aaron pick? 56.
106.
106.
We're giving the lad weight.
You would think they would have at least a stretch where they play decent baseball.
Well, the test is going to be later this week. You've got
that's true.
The other 2 really bad teams coming in. If you've got to build some momentum off those guys.
Oh, they lost 10 straight at home too, by the way. So
if you get beat up by those teams, that's going to be I know their morale's can't possibly be high, but you got to win those games.
Can you imagine what that clubhouse is like right now? We got a long way to go, boys, and we're not very good.
J.J. Watt, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL, saying Aaron Rodgers showing that the NFL is becoming more like the NBA. A little bit. I mean, you can't bring an entire football team with you like you can in basketball, where you can bring 2 guys with you, and then suddenly you're the big 3. But quarterback's a high premium job, so if you're pretty good, especially if you're an older guy, might be willing to take a little bit less money.
Maybe. And he's living the high life right now in New York. He's been at Rangers games. He's been at Knicks games. He's been all over the place.
You know, those opportunities are not there in Green Bay.
Guess not, no.
No, he's at the bar playing Jeopardy.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The NBA playoffs last night. Anthony Davis making a 2-point shot in the 4th quarter. Lakers beat the Warriors 117-112. Davis had a big night last night and helping the Lakers win Game 1 of that series on the road. And everyone's favorite Kraken, call on KJR AM. Yanni Gordy scoring a goal in overtime. Kraken beat the Stars 5-4 in OT. What other sport can an expansion franchise excel in other than the NHL? I mean, Vegas, their first year, they were really good.
It's strange. Yeah, Vegas kind of set the bar there. I'm going for Seattle just because I do like their mascot, and I like that they're the new guys. But I watched the Florida game, and all those goals, I think, came in just a crazy first period and then nothing after that.
4-2 Florida beat Toronto last night. Seattle over Dallas 5-4. And the other NBA game last night, the Knicks beating Miami 111-105. So that series is tied at a game apiece.
And Jim Masunas texts me and insists that people are watching those games. Highest rating since 1999, he says.
NBA?
Yeah. I
Okay.
haven't confirmed that, but he's media. We trust him.
Well,
Trust and verify.
NBA ratings?
Yeah,
Really?
he said last night's game were the best since 1999.
So is
That's because LeBron went after Steph, if you saw that.
I have not seen any NBA yet.
There was, something happened and LeBron...
So you were watching last night?
No, I saw the highlights. LeBron followed Steph to the bench and was yapping at him the whole way, and Steph in the bench just was like ignoring him. I thought it was kind of funny, but and I don't know what it was about or anything.
So is this a Larry Bird, Magic Johnson rivalry? They were discussing that yesterday afternoon on ESPN radio, thanks to...
I'm getting the blame here.
No, it's not your fault. It's the traditional. The engineer shows up, and then everything falls apart. So, and they were discussing, so is that like the Larry Bird, Magic Johnson rivalry that they had? They didn't like each other.
Yeah, but the difference is now a fight means kind of walking towards somebody, hoping somebody pulls you back. You didn't know what was going to happen in the 80s and 90s.
No. That was big boy basketball back in the day, I'm telling you. There you go. Okay, some sports headlines today. KCAC baseball tournament, Ottawa taking on Oklahoma Wesleyan. That's a battle between number 4 seed and the 5 seed, the baseball part of it, and softball. Getting underway at noon today, couple games going on. Number 1 seed Ottawa playing number 8 seed York. Number 2 seed Friends playing number 7 seed McPherson. 3 baseball games today. Softball teams will all play at least 2 games today, and a couple teams will be going home at the end of the night. Chiefs re-signed Jerick McKinnon and declined the 5th-year option on fellow running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So Clyde's time in Kansas City is over. Tyler Perry, senior guard from North Texas, averaged 17 points last year, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. He's transferring to Kansas State. And former Kansas forward Zach Clements moving out west. He'll transfer to UC Santa Barbara. And the college football playoff released a schedule for the 12-team format that will be used in the 24-25 seasons. It'll include New Year's Day quarterfinal triple headers, but no games played on Saturday. The first-round games will be played the 3rd week of December with 1 game on Friday night, 3 on Saturday. Quarterfinals in the new expanded format will be held on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So there you go, some of the other sounds. KCAC tournament is underway. Let's head out to the sports complex. Aaron Clark, what are you going to have coming up for us?
We're going to have some fun conversation coming at you with the athletic director for Avila, Sean Sumi. He'll actually be our first interview coming up here at 12:45. And then we'll be talking with the head Kansas Wesleyan baseball coach, Bill Neal. After that, got a couple of good conversations lined up here. Got some exciting competition already underway here. I have been tucked away in my little press box. I'm being treated incredibly well here at the Great Bend Sports Complex. Got me in the press box at Field 4. It's the field being used as practice. So I'm set up very nicely.
Wait a minute.
All right, so we'll go to Aaron Clark coming up here in just a little bit. Boys, I have never been so glad to see you than I am right now.
I was going to say, you have to tell us what happened.
Well, the sounds of the past 24 hours, I was waiting for the screen.
I was going to say, oh my God.
Spent a little bit more time than I wanted to on the side of the American Plains Co-op elevator today, strapped in a gurney. The
The look on his face when he walked back in the studio said it all. I'm sorry, Steve.
It's the edge guard. When the edge guard breaks, that's not good.
That would cause concern, yes.
But the guys had me. But
Do we know how high that is?
about 110 feet.
11 stories?
Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad to see you. I didn't know.
You're going to go home and hug your beautiful wife tonight.
I'm staying on the ground from now more for all these stunts that you were supposed to do. Corson had an invitation, but
Well, we
no.
got Aaron. Aaron will do them now.
Well, he had to go out to KCAC,
Well.
so we'll hear from Aaron Clark coming up next here on Sports Day.
Attention Kansas high schoolers. Barton Community College wants to help you get ahead in your education and save money with new early college online savings. Starting March 20th, pay only $75 per credit hour on any Barton online course. That's a savings of up to $80. All online classes are eligible, including career technical and general education. Learn more at bartonccc.edu/earlycollege.
Venture Corporation is a homegrown company with almost 50 years of experience in asphalt, paving, and construction, and they need equipment operators, mechanics, and CDL drivers. Venture offers many benefits, including 401k and Blue Cross Blue Shield health insurance. Call Leslie for all the details. Work for a family-owned and family-oriented company that is here today and will be here in the future. Venture Corporation, South Highway 281, Great Bend, is an equal opportunity employer.
Summer is just around the corner and things are starting to heat up. If you haven't already, it's time to make sure your air conditioning system can handle the heat this summer. The pros at Comfort Pro are your local AC experts. Whether you need a tune-up, repair, or new system, they have you covered. Comfort Pro can service any make or model. So when the heat is on and your AC is acting up, give the pros at Comfort Pro a call. Comfort Pro, the area's largest Bryant dealer. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Your problem is no problem for Comfort Pro.
This is Steve Nealon with Farmers Bank and Trust. If you're in the market for small business or ag loans, we have a lending team with the experience you need. Our loan decisions are made right here in Central Kansas. We know our market and our customers. Take a look at our competitive rates and terms on equipment purchases or refinance your farm or business. We specialize in listening to our clients and providing personalized service. Come in and talk to us today. Farmers Bank and Trust, member FDIC, a strong financial institution with offices in Great Bend, Albert, La Crosse, Bazine, Kinsley, and Larned.
Sports Day is presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department. Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
The Wednesday edition of Sports Day here coming up. Carrie Mint will be talking Great Bend Lady Panthers softball in studio, but let's take it back out again. Aaron Clark out at the Great Bend Sports Complex. The KCAC baseball and softball championships are underway. Aaron?
Hey, thank you, Webby. We're out here at the Great Bend Sports Complex having a beautiful day for some Great Bend and softball. I'm sitting down now with AD of the Avila. You guys got a mascot or forgot to ask before? The Avila Eagles, Sean Sumi. Sean, how you doing today?
Great, thanks. Thanks for having me.
We're just going to get right into it. The Avila, not a university that we're necessarily overly familiar with here in Great Bend. Can you tell me a little bit about what you provide and some of the athletics and the more scholarly aspects that Avila provides?
Yeah, from an academic standpoint, Avila University is located in South Kansas City. So we're in Kansas City, Missouri. Member of the KCAC now for, I believe this is the 6th season that we've been members of the KCAC. Avila is it's a Catholic university that, just like a lot of Catholic universities, the things we do well are nursing, education, a lot of the healthcare sciences. A lot of our student athletes will be nursing majors, rad tech, rad sciences degrees, radiological, and then the education program, strong business program, MBA, master's programs in psychology, organizational development, MBA. So we're kind of all over the board, a lot of different majors, but those are our strong ones. Kinesiology is another one that a lot of our athletes take to.
That's what I was going to say. It sounds like a lot of majors that could potentially lend themselves to athletics. Kind of gives us a segue here. You said you're in Southeast Kansas City. How does that impact recruiting, and where do you do most of your recruiting from?
So that's a great question. I think it differs by sport. If you look at our softball roster, we have young ladies from everywhere from Texas, out west in Washington, and then a lot in the Kansas, Missouri area, the states of Kansas and Missouri. So we kind of recruit nationally for the most part. There's some sports that really just kind of focus on, like our women's soccer. A lot is focused on within an hour around Kansas City. Football recruits anywhere they can to get the best players they can. So I would say the majority of our sports are within probably a 3 to 4 hour drive of Kansas City, Missouri.
And so how does that local ties kind of help drive the popularity of sports and just the enrollment at Avila in general, getting all the attention from the local fans?
So we have to be intentional about that, because in Kansas City, that's one thing that's different than a lot of the schools in our conference, where they're the main show in town. For us, we've got, the Royals, and there's a football team up there, the Kansas City Chiefs, that they win a lot and they're fun to watch. Sporting KC, the KC Current, there's a lot of professional teams there. So we fight for some of that, but we have to be intentional about, if we recruit locally, families will come out and watch more. So that's a bonus, but we try to get out and do a bunch of things for the community to kind of draw that interest in. So it's a plus. So being in a big city is a big plus. The negative is sometimes it's harder to fill the stands, as like if you're in a town like a McPherson or Sterling, where they support their college better because that's what's there. So, and it's an event to do.
Absolutely. And so what are some of the things that you go into to try to make sure Avila can stand out and really stick out in Kansas City?
One thing we do is a lot of community service. Our teams will do reading programs with local elementary schools. We'll go visit nursing homes. We do free clinics throughout the year for different sports, for Special Olympics, for any of that. And then even though we're in Kansas City, we try to make a community feel to where we try to have other organizations come out and use our facilities to be a part of it and try to draw them in. We host a huge CYO, it's Catholic Youth Organization, basketball tournament, middle school tournament with around 95 teams, middle school Catholic schools within the Kansas City area. They come out and play at our gym multiple times, multiple days right around New Year's. So we just try to be visible and be out in the community and be someone that people will acknowledge is there. And we try to invite them out for we don't charge the kids when they come out. They wear their uniforms. We'll have them play during halftime of basketball games. Anything we can do to draw people in, we'll do.
This is Aaron Clark sitting down with Avila AD Sean Sumi. Sean, talk a little bit about the softball team you got here, coming in as I believe the 4th seed. Let me double check my 5th seed here. Sorry. Tell us a little bit about the softball team and what we've seen from them this season.
Yeah, they're a fun team. So we're actually tied with Bethany, but they had a tiebreaker on us, so they're the 4th seed. Our team's very interesting. We have a lot of new faces this year from last year, and they've done a great job. 30 wins on the year, 16 conference wins. We played a tough schedule out of conference. We have speed at the top of the lineup. We have a couple girls that can drive in runs there in the middle, and some girls that set the table at the bottom of the order. And when they get clicking, it's fun to watch. So they do good. We have a senior in the circle, Peyton Walter, who is a gamer. She competes. She knows how to spot her pitch as well. Balls move. They're fun to watch. But any of the 8 teams here, the softball and the KCAC in my 4 years, this is the best it's been. This tournament's the best field that we have had. There's no easy ins. You're going to earn every win you get in this tournament. So, but our girls our head coach Charlie Kennedy's done it for 25 years throughout NAI schools, Division II, Division III, and Division I. He's been around and he knows softball, and when he recruits, the one thing I'm proud of as an AD is every member of our team after the fall semester had 3.0 GPAs or higher, cumulative GPAs. So that's unbelievable when you look at the transfers and the seniors that we had coming in, and the freshmen really, the upperclassmen did a good job of teaching the freshmen the importance of all of it. So, we we like the way our girls compete hard. They're going to go out there and give it the best they can, and they do it every single day. And they've had some tough losses in there. They've had some great wins in there.
I was going to say, obviously had an incredible season coming into the conference tournament, a 16-8 record in conference, nets you the 5th seed. And we've seen some pretty tough fields in the past here at this tournament. What are you hoping to see from your ladies here at this tournament this weekend?
Yeah, I'm hoping that they come out and compete every game, and they do that. So I'm looking forward to seeing them do that at this stage. We have, we have about 5 girls that have been through this conference tournament for the last 3 years, and watching them kind of the way they've done this, and we've competed well. Last year we made it, I think the game to play to get into the the championship. The year before we lost in the conference championship, so they know that some of them have been here, and we have some girls that have some junior college experience that are used to this type of environment. So I'm looking forward to watching them compete, go out there and do their thing and have fun, and that's the biggest thing for me.
Sounds like you got some experience and some girls coming back who could help you get some tough wins out here at this tournament, Sean. It was great sitting down with you, and I appreciate your time.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
This is Aaron Clark sitting down with Avila AD Sean Sumi. Robbie, we'll send it back to you over at the Mayo Money Management Studios.
Okay, hey, thanks, Aaron. And Aaron will come back here coming up later in the show. He'll be talking with Bill Neal. Bill is the head coach of the Kansas Wesleyan baseball team. They are the #1 seed on the baseball side, and they will play at 7 o'clock tonight. And they'll be taking on the winner of the game that's going on right now. So there you go. We will take a break. We're going to talk Great Bend Panthers softball coming up. Carrie Minton in studio with some players. That's on the way right after this. Sports Day on KVGB.
If you need physical therapy, consider Advanced Therapy in Great Bend and Progressive Therapy in Larned and Hayes.
We had a lady that was having some severe back and hip pain, and we worked with her for about 6 to 7 weeks, and we were able to actually restore greater than 80% of her mobility, and we were able to keep her from actually needing that surgery for about 4 years.
You don't need to hurt. Physical therapy can help. Call Advanced or Progressive Therapy and Sports Medicine to explore your treatment options and get your life back.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Ryan, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
In celebration of National Hospital Week and the completion of our recent remodel project, Clara Barton Medical Center is excited to invite you to our open house on Wednesday, May 10th. Join us from 4 to 7 p.m. to explore the newly renovated spaces throughout our facility, including our state-of-the-art imaging suite and new surgical clinic. Tours will be offered every 15 minutes and refreshments will be served, so be sure to join us for an open house on Wednesday, May 10th from 4 to 7 at Clara Barton Medical Center in Hoisington.
If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. When big vehicles turn right, they may swing out wide to make the turn. Let's not learn the lesson the hard way. When trucks and buses turn, let's you and I wait.
Sponsored by the Kansas Motor Carriers Association and aired in cooperation with the Kansas Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Sports Day presents On the Prowl with Mike Corson, an inside look at all the sports taking place at Great Bend High School.
Welcome back to Sports Day, 1590 KVGB 95.5 FM. Mike Corson, joined today by Lady Panthers softballers. We've got Coach Carrie Minton, Junior Riley Prilling, and freshman Cameron Kelsch. It's a beautiful day, girls. Why aren't you outside playing softball?
Give them an opportunity to skip school today.
Had a nice run going, but then you guys ran into Hayes. Saw Garden City here, got beat by a really good pitcher. Went out to Garden City last week, same pitcher, kind of same results. Does it get in your head after you see one and then you have to go back on her turf and face the same girl over?
Yeah, for sure. Seeing her multiple times is definitely a mental game.
Coach, how do you approach that with this girl beat us and we didn't get a whole lot of hits off her? How are we going to fix that going into the next one?
You know, we talk about making like the actual adjustments in the box, knowing how she's going to go at us and that's the thing with Bree is that she has so many different weapons that, you know, you can anticipate her going at us with the rise ball, which she's been really successful with over the years. And then, you know, all of a sudden she starts throwing curveballs and drop balls to send us back to the dugout. So she's just a phenomenal pitcher, and, you know, you work on trying to make those physical adjustments, but like the girls mentioned, there's a psychological component too. And, you know, to her credit, she's been WAC Player of the Year for 2 years, going into potentially 3. So, we faced a tremendous opponent.
Cameron, you're a freshman, and Riley too. How long have you guys been playing softball?
Probably like 7 years.
And what'd you say, Cameron, about 10 years?
Yeah, probably about 10 years.
How important is that experience? Because I know Quicksilver's been big around here forever. Can you play at that level without having that background experience?
It is very hard to play at the varsity level if you haven't been playing for a very long time, I would say.
What's the hardest part?
Definitely the pitching, I would say.
Just coming around on getting the speed and timing yourself?
Yeah, if you're not used to it, then it's going to be really hard for you.
Riley, you're a left fielder. What's prep for a left fielder? Do you guys have, obviously the major leaguers have the little cards and whatnot. Any scouting report before you go into a game of who might hit the ball out to you?
Yeah, most of the time Coach Mitten is either telling you to go left or right. It's mostly the thing.
And Cameron, you got 2 positions. You're a catcher and a shortstop. Any preference of which one you're going to play?
I would rather play catcher just because that's where I've always played, except this is my first year playing shortstop.
And we asked, was it Lauren Davis last week, you like playing on the turf back there better than playing around in the dirt?
It doesn't really bother me wherever I'm playing.
McPherson, so get a rematch here. You guys open the season with a couple losses to Manhattan. McPherson coming off this tough skid, but we're getting into the postseason. Get a chance at McPherson again. What's the mindset going into that one?
I think we just need to stay strong and work as a team when it comes to coming up McPherson because we have seen them before.
And Cameron, you're a freshman, so those would have been your first varsity games. How much has it changed having 16 games under your belt?
I feel like having more really helped. Like the first game, I was really nervous.
And I think that's going to be a big, going into Friday's game, it's a quad. We open up with McPherson, and then from there it'll be winner, loser, out of bracket play. So, you know, having already seen McPherson, we know going into that game, we had 9 errors in that game. And, so we've improved. We've made strides. The nerves, as they mentioned, are kind of taken out of play. And so I'm really looking. We don't get this opportunity many times to face a team that we see early on in the season that's out of conference, to see them again late in the schedule. So I'm looking forward to that opportunity.
And we've been talking to Carrie Menton, coach of the Lady Panther softball team, and junior Riley Prilling and freshman Cameron Kelsch. Coach, I wanted to mention to you, back in the day playing at Harmsfield, you'd see some teams in shorts. We don't see, do you girls like to play in shorts at all?
No, we never have.
I don't let them practice in shorts either. They get mad at me.
And it seems like, does anybody play in shorts anymore?
Very seldom. You'll see a few teams, as we mentioned, talking outside of the studio. You'll see a handful of teams maybe throughout the summer playing travel ball that'll go the throwback route and throw some shorts on. I think it's kind of like a toughness factor. They want to kind of be a little bit intimidating.
Which baseball pants are way more intimidating. But obviously the factor there would be the slide. Do you guys like playing on the turf more than having the real dirt and grass?
Yes, I like the turf more because when you're sliding, you know more to expect, and you're not going to get all the rocks in your pants and stuff.
Easy hops playing in the turf.
And that wasn't, growing up, I was afraid to take hot grounders. That's why I never mounted anything, because you never knew what was on the field. Is there a level of comfort playing at shortstop that you're going to get smooth balls?
Yeah. Playing on dirt, I'm more scared, but...
A little hop up on you?
Yeah.
Lady Panthers set number 11 in regionals. Coach, what does these last couple games look like prepping for that postseason?
Going into Friday's games are going to be huge. Like I mentioned, we get a look at McPherson again. From there, it'll either be Junction City or Salina South. Both of them are going to be tough opponents. It would be amazing if we could walk away out of that quad on Friday with 2 wins. And then we look to TMP next Tuesday to finish out the season. So, potentially we could be sitting at 11-9, a little above 500, which there's a little bit of fluctuation in our regional seeding in that area, but not much. We're probably sitting around a 9, 10, 11 seed going into regionals the following week.
TMP used to be a real powerhouse, a little bit down.
They're a little bit down this year. They still have, a good section of their lineup returning from last year. But when it's those last few with the change in graduation and then the kids coming in, I believe, and don't quote me. I believe that they did the co-op with lacrosse up until this year, and this year lacrosse went to Larned, so they lost a handful of kids that contributed in their lineup, and so that's going to be a little bit of a different look for them.
Coach Carrie Minton, Riley Prilling, Cameron Kelsch, good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
More Sports Day after this.
From the Mayo Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB, Great Bend, and 95.5 FM K238CK, Hoisington.
At Next Tech Wireless, we know how important it is to stay connected. You can keep the whole family connected without breaking the bank. Now you can get up to 1, 2, 3, 4 lines for $100. And that's not all. Bring your number to us and get a $100 Visa gift card. Only at Next Tech Wireless, home on the range.
Start a new career in the medical field with Barton Community College's Medical Assistant Program, now offered 100% online. Learn to record patient history, measure vital signs, and maintain medical records using improved virtual simulations. Join this growing field with a certificate or associate's degree from Barton. Study anywhere and get your hands-on clinical experience at a location close to you. Learn more at medassistant.bartoncccc.edu.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-587-5063. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-587-5063 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-587-5063 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-587-5063.
It's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Welcome back, Mayo Money Management Studios. Today it's Sports Day here on KVGB. We've been all over the place. We've been American Plains Co-op this morning on the side of the American Plains Co-op. About 100 feet up in the air. That was thrilling. And now we're out at the KCAC Baseball and Softball Championships. Aaron Clark is out there, and he's getting ready to talk to the head man of the team that is the number 1 seed, the Kansas Wesleyan Coyotes, and Bill Neal. Aaron, take her away.
Hey, thanks, Webby. As you said, I'm sitting down here with head coach of the Kansas Wesleyan Coyotes, sitting with a 39-11 record, 27-6 in conference, if I see that right. I'm sitting down here with head coach Bill Neal. Coach Neal, tell me a little bit about your guys' season. Looks like it's been going pretty well so far.
Yes, it has. No, it's been a fun season so far, and the guys have been playing well. And like I said, we've been setting some school records, some individual records, some all-time records. So it's been a good season, and we're just looking forward to keeping it going here in Great Bend.
And, coming into the KCAC tournament, obviously got some stiff competition from around the conference. Who are you really and obviously don't want to overlook anyone, but who are you really looking at in this tournament?
I'm not trying to be cliché, but it's everyone. It's one of those things. We won the tournament last year as a 6th seed. I think the year before Ottawa won it as the 5 seed. So truthfully, anyone can win this tournament. And McPherson's got a great team. And they're in 2nd place. And obviously Tabor's been playing really good baseball as of late. And Oklahoma Wesleyan just beat Ottawa in the game 1 of this. So we'll be facing Oklahoma Wesleyan tonight. And they've been a perennial powerhouse for years in the NAI. So, like I said, all the teams are good, and we need to play our game and just do our thing.
Looking like it's going to be a duel of the Wesleyan schools, hoping that Kansas one comes out on top for you guys. How long have you been at the helm of the Coyotes baseball team here?
I've been the head coach now for 9 years or whatever, and it's a great institution. It's a great place. We have great leadership, and I'm blessed to be here, and I'm lucky to have this job. I'm going to correct you real quick so Coyote Nation doesn't get unhappy with you, but yeah, it's Coyotes or whatever. And the only reason I'm doing that, I was driving around on my interview 9 years ago, and I said that in the car with the athletic director. He's like, well, before you get in trouble, I want you to make sure this is how you pronounce it.
Hey, as a young sports broadcaster, I appreciate you getting it to me early there. Coyote Nation, the head man for the Coyotes there in Salina and Kansas Wesleyan. Talk a little bit about your team, what you've seen in terms of at the plate to start off with this year.
Yeah, that's honestly where we're setting a lot of records. I think we're 2nd in the nation right now with 122 home runs. We had Player of the Year in the conference in Jarrett Gable. I think he's got 22 himself, and it's just been an incredible year, especially offensively. I think we got Jarrett with 22, we got Kendall Foster with 21, Zach Beatty with 19, I think Hayden Brown with 18. So obviously we like to hit the long ball, and it's a fun offense. We got a big physical team, and that's the one thing we've been doing well is putting runs up, and we hope to continue this week.
And so obviously people in Great Bend may not be the most familiar with your brand of baseball. Out at Barton, we see a very aggressive style, steal-oriented. Coach Biggs likes his players to do that. Can you tell a little bit about, without giving away too much of your baseball insight, but give a little bit about your philosophy when it comes to running the diamond?
Yeah, I mean, we actually like to run the bases well, too. I think we're 6th in the nation in stolen bases or something. We've got 103 stolen bases as well. So, we like to try to do all things well, but we're pretty free swinging, and we try to drive the baseball. And, I always tell people the name of the game is run score, not, batting average is great, and it usually comes with good hitters. But, I mean, if you can score runs and if you can hit a ball to the yard with 2 outs and a guy on first, then, that's a way to score. But like I said, we run the bases well. We got 2 guys with, I think Will Dryberg has 35 stolen bases. I think Kevin Esklund Cruz has 23. So, when the time comes, we'll run the bases as well and be aggressive there.
So it sounds like you a lot of offensive output, a lot of offensive potential output for this postseason tournament. Can you speak a little bit about what you have on the mound and what do you have to kind of counter some of the offense the other teams might be providing?
Yeah, we've got Jarrett Brandon, who leads the nation right now in wins. He's 13-0. He's done a great job for us this year. Tyler Triano, who's going to pitch for us tonight, he's one of the most talented pitchers I think in the conference, and he's come off an arm injury or whatever, and we got him back about halfway through the season, and then I can't forget Nathan Riggy, who's been kind of that Friday guy for us all year. That's done a great job. So we've got 3. What we think are top-end starters, and then I think our best asset is our bullpen, and we've got kind of a 3-headed monster down there. Our reliever of the year in the conference was Ritter Steinman, and he kind of comes in as the 5th, 6th, or 7th, and does his job there. And then KT Gerald's in the 8th, and then Ryan Sandoval in the 9th to close things out. So we've pitched it pretty well all year. I think we're 1st or 2nd in a lot of statistics and stuff. So we're looking to continue that as well.
And you hit on Tyler Triano going to be your starting pitcher tonight. Coming into a championship tournament like that, how do you keep the arms fresh? How do you make those decisions in who starts the first game when you got to win the first game to make the next games really count? What goes into those decisions?
Well, I think first off, keeping them fresh is having a good bullpen. So when you have a good bullpen, you don't have to leave guys out there too long. And our starters don't go much more than 5 or 6 innings each game. And just because we have a good bullpen that we can turn guys over, or turn the ball over to them before our starters get too tired and stuff like that. But no, I mean, it's just go out and be yourself. And like Triano, he's an older guy. He understands it. He's not going to be nervous. He's not going to, feel any of that. He's going to go out and do his thing, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But we definitely have a lot of trust in him and our whole pitching staff, and that's kind of why I think we're as good as we are coming into the tournament right now.
And you talked about Triano being an older guy. Can you speak on a little bit of the composition of your roster as a whole? You more young guy oriented, old guy, or more of a mix?
Well, I can tell you right now, we had 19 guys on senior day. So this is the last go at it for a lot of these guys. So they're going to be hungry, and we pretty much have to replace almost all our offense next year. And I think we lose 6 of our 9 starters potentially. And on the mound, we'll lose Triano, we'll lose Spencer Foley, but for the most part, most of the other guys are coming back. But yeah, it's definitely a veteran team, and we're going into it, with that kind of veteran feel. We're going to go play, and like I said, hopefully the nerves aren't too bad.
And what's the difference in coaching those 19 seniors? I'll be honest, I was ready for you to have a mix of older classes. You put together an excellent season like this, you expect to have a couple older guys. 19, it kind of explains those 39 wins. How do you coach that many seniors in a team and keep them focused and keep them locked in?
First off, winning helps everything. Everyone's happy when you win, whether you're getting a start and play or if you're a role guy on the bench. Winning usually keeps away the negativity and all that. So I think that's the first thing. And they're a mature group, which they're honestly easy to coach, and because they're pretty talented. I kind of, I tell people I kind of just stay back and, try not to get in the way, honestly. Let them do their thing. They're a talented group. They know what they're doing. They're hungry. They self-police themselves when there's issues and stuff like that. But like I said, it's been fun to coach this year, just because I kind of tell them I've kind of been like your biggest fan. I get to stand at third base coach's box and watch them play and watch them hit home runs or watch our pitchers do great things or us play great defense too.
And obviously, these many seniors, you got to have a couple of good memories. What are some of the better ones just throughout the entirety that you've known these fellas?
Well, the first one that comes to mind is here in Great Bend last year when Hayden Brown hits the go-ahead home run in the 9th inning against, or I guess it would have been the bottom of the 8th, I believe, against Tabor, and then we went out and closed the door in the 9th and won the game to go on to the national tournament. So that's definitely first and foremost my fondest memory. I'll just be honest, it's the conversations, it's the times at practice, just walking around and ask them how their family's doing, just ask them about life and stuff, and all the fun they have too. This is a fun group. They're quirky, they're handsy, they're always touching and hugging each other and all that kind of stuff. They're baseball guys, and that's going to be my biggest memory. And when these guys move on, that's going to be the toughest thing. It's just the relationships that I have with this group, and it's definitely a special group for sure.
And if you thought there was going to be a lasting legacy on the Coyote baseball program from this group of seniors, what do you think that legacy would be?
I think just being a lead at everything. I think this team's dominated in the classroom. We got a 3.25 GPA as a team. Every year this group's been here, we've had probably over 1,200 hours of community service. People around our campus speak so highly of my baseball team, and then obviously what we've done on the field to go with it. But it's kind of a motto that we started with this group when they first got here, and that we want to be a lead at everything. We kind of did some studies and stuff that, you don't win on the field if you're boneheads off the field and different things, or if you're not making good grades, or if you're not doing things right all around. So we started this thing, and this group has truly lived up to hey, we're going to try to be a lead at everything.
And I've gotten to talk to a couple coaches about their players and what it means to them to coach. Obviously, everyone likes having an elite product on the field. I feel like so many times players, or coaches rather, speak about having high character, and it sounds like something that's really what your seniors embody. Spent a lot of time on this senior class. What about some of the younger guys who are going to be coming back next year? What do you expect from them, both in this tournament and going forward after losing such leadership?
Well, the good thing is guys like Zach Beatty and Kendall Foster, who, Zach's got, I think, 19 home runs and Kendall's got 21. So it'll be good to get those two back. And then, like I said, most of our pitching staff, we got some young guys. We got a freshman by the name of Cruz Oxford. He's with the team this week, and he started a lot of games for us early on with this large veteran staff. And Cole Riggs is another freshman that's with us, and he's our courtesy runner and stuff, but he should slide into an outfield spot hopefully next year. But like I said, most of the pitching staff, our JB, who leads the nation in wins, and Riggy, those guys will be back. And I just hope they can carry on kind of what we've started, from a character standpoint. And talent-wise, they're all good baseball players. But the one thing I hope we can keep is how we play the game, how we act off the field, how we do in the classroom, representing not just Kansas Wesleyan, but Salina the way that we want to.
And so obviously, we spent a little bit of time talking about what we're expecting coming into this tournament here. Take us through a little bit of the season as a whole. Walk us through some of the highlights, and obviously not too many lowlights on a 39-win season.
Yeah, I mean, our season, it started off tough. We went to Phoenix for 5 games out there. We came back 1-4. We just didn't play very good baseball. I thought we were better than some of the teams we played, but at that time we definitely weren't. We didn't play as well as we should. But then we got things rolling in February in our non-conference play. We got lucky. We were at home for 4 straight weekends and got things going there. I think we lost 1 game in our non-conference. It was to Doane, which Doane's a ranked team right now too. So we took 2 out of 3 from them, which that was a big series for us. And then it just started. Started with Tabor. We played Tabor and played them really well, and took 3 from them. And then we had kind of a trip up and. With McPherson, they just beat us. It was one of those things. We went in there and we left in 2 days with our butts whooped, and they just flat out played better than us, and that was the way it was. And credit to them. So and then we went to Oklahoma Wesleyan and we swept Oklahoma Wesleyan, and they're in the top 25. And we took 2 or 3 from Ottawa, which was a tough series, and that's teams that are here. And it's a tough conference. It's there's a lot of good teams, but that was kind of And through that, we set a bunch of school records for offense, and JB set the single-season record for wins on the mound. And it's been a fun ride, and we just want to keep it going.
Absolutely. This has been Aaron Clarkson down with head coach of the Kansas Wesleyan's baseball team, Bill Neal. Coach Neal, been great talking to you today. Going to ask you one final question. Final thoughts heading into this KCAC tournament.
Just go play well. Just be us. Don't be nervous. Don't be tense. Go have fun. Go play. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Luckily, we're in the regular season. We've already punched our ticket to nationals, but that's not the mindset my players have. They've made that clear that, hey, this is, there's 4 steps. There's win the season, win the tournament, win an opening round, and win the World Series. So we got 25% of the job done so far, and that's their motto right now is job's not done. And but I want them to enjoy it and just go have fun and be ourselves, and we should take care of business, hopefully.
And that is head Kansas Wesleyan baseball coach Bill Neal. Thank you for joining me here on Sports Day today, and we'll have more Sports Day right after this here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM, the talk of the town.
When you need to get rid of the pain, you want the best. You need to see Dr. Dan Quillen at Catalyst Therapy and Sports Rehab. Dr. Dan is Barton County's only board-certified clinical specialist in orthopedic physical therapy. No matter your age, when it hurts, he will help. Call Dan at 620-282-4825. That's 282-4825. Excellence-driven, unrivaled results. Catalyst Therapy and Sports Rehab. Inside the Fieldhouse at 9th and Madison in Great Bend.
If you're not filling with Cenex Premium Diesel, then you're not giving your fuel system the premium treatment. Cenex Roadmaster XL comes with a more complete additive package for a more complete burn, while restoring your power by up to 4.5% and your fuel economy by up to 5%. Typical number 2 diesel? I guess it covers the basics. Cenex Premium Diesel. Diesel that doesn't mess around.
Contact American Plains Co-op in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor today.
Hey, it's Dr. Ty. Today we wanted to talk about our passion for customer service. And I don't think it's a secret that at Animal Medical we strive every day for the main goal of providing the best customer service that we can. Find out what are those things that we can do to make that experience the best possible. Those of us that do shop locally and do those things, we need to make sure those businesses that focus on customer service are appreciated. Let them know. Tell them. Tell the receptionist she did a great job. All those little things matter and make our people feel great. So we're very passionate about it and we love it.
Getting to know yourself can be a lifelong process, especially since you're always growing and changing. Therapy is all about deepening that self-awareness, because sometimes you don't know what you really want until you talk things through. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist online who can take you on that journey of self-discovery from wherever you are. Visit betterhelp.com/score to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/score.
Great, it's yours. See you then.
Nathan's Tiki-themed bar is swimming in end-of-year party bookings.
Where can I find that many servers? They want headlamps? And I'm gonna need to find a band.
He needs caterers to navigate the rising tide.
No, Mario, not your cousin's cover band.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
It's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Sports Day here on KVGB. Appreciate Aaron Clark out there. He also had City Edition today. Heard from the conference commissioner. And that event taking place. Great to have the KCAC conference here. Great exposure for the league out in this part of the state. And catch some games. Ottawa taking on Kansas Wesleyan right now on the baseball diamond at 3 o'clock. The Tabor College Blue Jays taking on the Friends Falcons. And Tabor's a 3 seed. Friends is a 6. Then Kansas Wesleyan will be in action tonight. Bill Neal will have his team out there taking on the winner of the Oklahoma Wesleyan winner. Softball getting underway at noon today. They'll have 2 more first-round games starting at 2:30. Bethany will play Avila College, and that'll be on Field 2. And on Field 3, it'll be Oklahoma Wesleyan against Kansas Wesleyan. And then we'll have winners bracket games at 5 o'clock and the losers bracket games at 7:30. So all the softball teams will be playing at least 2 games today. And only one team's going to be playing 2 games on the baseball field today, and that's going to be the team that loses that Ottawa-Oklahoma Wesleyan game. So check it out, KCAC tournament. Glad that it's in town. Jackson Mahomes, the youngest brother of Kansas City Chiefs star quarterback Patrick Mahomes, arrested early this morning on charges of aggravated sexual battery. The 22-year-old booked into Johnson County Detention Center on a $100,000 bond at 8:42 this morning, and charged with 3 counts of aggravated sexual battery and an additional 4th count of battery. Mahomes scheduled for an initial court appearance later today. So that's taking place. Mahomes, at large social media, frequently attends Chiefs games. He celebrated the Chiefs Super Bowl victory earlier this year with his brother at the championship parade.
And Patrick and his wife were at the Met Gala last night, showing off some fancy wardrobe. So I just keep you up on the social aspects. And by the way, it is community night. You can get free tickets to the KCAC. I think you stop by the city offices. City offices or convention and visitors.
Yep, CVB down there in the event center.
Okay.
And this is always one of those ones. What is it? Kansas Wesleyan Coyotes or the Kansas Wesleyan Coyotes?
To me, it's Coyotes.
It's Coyotes.
It's Coyotes.
But things change. I mean, the young guy, Aaron, went with Coyotes.
But the coach went with Coyotes.
Wiley E was a Coyote.
Correct.
Kansas Wesleyan's the Coyotes. The Kinsley Coyotes.
Correct.
Okay. Hesh, we'll see you here tomorrow.
Possibly.
Great work. It's one day at a time here on Sports Day. Hope you enjoyed the show. Back tomorrow, or back Friday.